talking about the man on the Lakers, LeBron James. Saying his name, LeBron James. Let's go! Let's go! We got the dogs here? Like, can y'all see it?
Barry! It's Barry! Barry! Barry!
Oh, Ruben too! All the dogs are coming here.
Hi!
Hi, Ruben. How about so the stream can see you? There he is.
Hey, it's Ruben! It's Ruben! Oh my goodness!
Okay. I have to make a bracket, guys. Chill out. Alright, lock in. Lock it in. Okay. Oh, we love the doggos. Doggos are always a nice addition. Let's get to the bracket though. Let me get it open on my tab before I start firing away on this perfect bracket that I'm about to make. Let's see. ESPN TC. I've already made 3 brackets. The group I'm in allows me to make 5, so I'm gonna make 1. Depending on how quick that 1 goes, I might make a second, but who knows? We'll see. Let's see. Where are my groups at? Group. Join. Hey, y'all gotta lock in and make some packets. Oh, okay. Never mind. James made him a bracket. I see it. Yo, make an original name, James. You're stealing my Houston thing. Come on, bruh. Okay, let's do I want to show off my brackets that I've made so far? We'll do that. We'll start off with my one where I have Florida winning. Because I think Florida's going to win it. But obviously I got to make a couple different brackets, so this is my Florida winning bracket. I have I feel pretty confident in most of these picks. I know people are picking UC San Diego over Michigan. I don't see it. I was thinking Michigan was going to be an upset, but after their run in the conference tournament, I think that they at least get past the first round. If not making it to the Sweet 16 before they get beat by Auburn. But yeah, I do think they get past the first round. Same for A&M. Yale got their upset last year. Lightning isn't going to strike twice. I don't think they do it again. Not against a battle-tested A&M team, at least. They probably have size too, but I'm not 100% sure. They got a big win over Auburn later into the season. Obviously, lost to Texas to end the season, but hey, who knows? I do think UNC is going to win this game, but I don't think they beat Ole Miss. I don't. They've been playing good basketball towards the end of the season, but they just haven't won enough big games to where I would be comfortable picking them over Ole Miss, who obviously SEC going to be battle tested. So Ole Miss right there. This is like a 50-50 for me. I might change this to Marquette. Either way, I don't see them getting past Michigan State, so this pick isn't really like gonna keep me up at night. I'm gonna switch it to Marquette though. More battle tested. I know the Final Four looks a little freaky. It's a little freaky, but hold on. I might change this to like 147. That's kind of low for both of those teams. But yeah, like I said, I think Florida's gonna win it all. I think they're the best team out there. This is also another 50-50. I made 3 brackets. I think 2 of them I picked Memphis. This one I picked Colorado State. Colorado State's been playing amazing. Similar to what I said up here, though, I don't see them getting past Maryland. Maryland's a good team. People are picking Drake over Missouri, and I mean, listen, I don't see it happening. I feel like every single year we hear about, oh, Drake, great team, could win a game or two in the tournament. I'm like, okay, let me pick them. I've picked them so many times in the last 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know if they ran in 2023, but I picked them so many times, and every time they lose first round. And this year, I'm not falling for it. Give me Missouri, Texas Tech. I really like SEC teams, which you'll probably be able to tell over the course of the bracket that I'm gonna make later. But yeah. Yeah. This bracket's pretty standard. I'm not gonna go over everything. Let's look at this one. This one I have probably my biggest Cinderella in Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga was severely underseeded. I think they're very underrated going into the tournament, and I think that if they play good, then I think they can make a good run. End of the season off, finally getting over St. Mary's, which they lost to twice before, winning their conference tournament. They're hot. I mean, their top 25 record is not bad. I mean, Houston's only played 2 more top 25 games. Um, obviously, conference record is a little worrying, but I think they've been playing good basketball towards the end of the season. Defense is going to be a little worrying, but Gonzaga does score about a good amount more points. So I don't know. I think this will be a good game. I think this is a very possible game for Houston to lose, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's make a new bracket. Where do I make? I think here at the bottom. Create another bracket. Okay. How do I want to do this? Do I want to do like a whole region to get my final fours at the end, or do I want to go like round by round? I think I'm going to do. Let's do regions. I always do round by round. Let's do regions. Don't think Auburn is gonna beat either of those teams, or I think Auburn's gonna beat whatever team wins there. To be honest with you, I don't think there's any hope. I see a good amount of people picking Creighton in this matchup, and to be honest, I know the ACC was weak, but I think Louisville is like underrated, and this is coming from a obvious Kentucky fan. I think that they are very underseeded here. They weren't playing at this point in the season, and they were still giving Kentucky some trouble. Obviously 2-0 against Clemson. Not they haven't done great against Duke all year, but I mean Duke's just a good team. So, yeah. I think that they're gonna beat Creighton, but whatever team wins here, I don't think they're beating Auburn. So we'll take Louisville. I already talked about this a little bit in my first bracket I showed, but I really don't see UC San Diego beating Michigan. I don't. I know a good amount of people are like high on UC San Diego, saying they're gonna win, but Michigan, they were cold towards the end of the season, but they just won their conference tournament, right? UC San Diego, have they played a single quad one game this year? Hold on. UC San Diego quad one. They played 3 and they lost 1 against San Diego State, which is a bubble team. Um, beat UC Irvine, which I don't think they made the tournament, and then Utah State barely, which is like a 10 seed. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, their averages are better, but that's mostly because of the conference that they're in. Michigan is in a much harder conference. Either way, I don't think either of these teams go far because they're gonna run into Auburn at some point. So we'll pick Michigan again. I know people are high on UC San Diego, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Give me A&M. I talked about this one too. Lightning doesn't strike twice. I don't see Yale getting another upset 2 years in a row. A&M has some good wins. Texas Tech, Purdue, 20-point win over Texas. Lost against Kentucky, obviously. Couldn't beat Tennessee or Florida, but did have a big win over Auburn at the end of the season. I could see this game going either way, but we'll get to that in a second. I already talked about this one a little bit as well. I think North Carolina wins this. Just give me Ole Miss. I know this is very chalk, but my upsets are like in the other parts of the bracket, so we'll get to those. I feel like the first round, this is like for me, this is the easiest to pick. I know some people just might disagree with that, but Iowa State and Lipscomb. I haven't really looked at this much. I've always just picked Iowa State. I mean, obviously, not a good record against like top teams, but I mean teams that are just like decent, they've done very well against outside of like that Kansas game, obviously, but I don't know. I think that they had a very good start, but injuries have sort of slowed them down a little bit. Obviously, their averages are very similar. Top 25, 0 and 2, 4 and 5 for Iowa State. Conference, obviously Lipscomb's going to be better. It's an easier conference. I think Iowa State wins this like 95 times out of 100. This is the only game in the south side of the bracket that like I kind of like I have trouble picking because like Marquette, like they haven't played great against top 25, but who's New Mexico played? Beat UCLA at the start of the season. Swept against Utah State. Beat VCU, which a ton of people are also high on. And then lost to some bubble teams. Defenses are more similar than their offenses. Obviously a better conference. I mean, this isn't. I said this in my first bracket I showed too. I really think this bracket is like a 50-50, and I don't think either of them get past Michigan State here. We'll pick New Mexico this time around. Michigan State. Auburn. I'm just gonna pick Auburn and not really think about that much. To be honest with you, I think Louisville could win, but it'll take a lot. So I think this is one of the least likely 8-1 upsets. I think this. I'm really high in Florida, and I don't think that if Florida was gonna lose in this round, it would be to UConn because of how much experience they have. Obviously, repeat champions. I don't think they're gonna three-peat though. I highly doubt. Not with the team they have this year. Michigan, Texas A&M. I'm very high on the SEC, but I haven't really picked. Both have the same top 25 record. Obviously, Michigan's gonna have a better conference record. Difference here is very similar. But Michigan's just hot. I don't know. I mean, statistically, I feel like A&M should win this game. I feel like they should. How many? Let's look at quad one records. I'm not gonna do this much, but quad one Michigan played 19 quad one games, 112 of them. Texas A&M played 16 and won 7. But yeah, not as consistent against quad two though. Oh boy. I mean, I can't diss them that much for their quad one opponents though. Like the SEC is just brutal. Um, I've usually picked Michigan. Let's pick A&M. Let's be a little different. I've always picked Ole Miss in this game. Iowa State has some players out. They haven't played nearly as good without their top guys. Ole Miss is in a harder conference. UPI rank. I mean, obviously Iowa State's gonna be higher. They probably lost by 30. Sheesh. At the end of the season, though, they did play. They did start to play good. Obviously, buzzer beater against Arkansas, almost beat Auburn. And then Iowa State losing to BYU, which I'm very high on. Um, I've picked like Iowa State once and Ole Miss twice. I'm gonna pick Ole Miss again. I'm very high on SEC teams, which you can tell already. Auburn, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Michigan. I'm not even gonna think about this game. I'm gonna pick Michigan State. Michigan State, Ole Miss. Uh, I've like always picked Michigan State here. I think Ole Miss could win if they're playing great, but I don't see it. Um, this one is another one. These teams have played a couple times. Or have they played more like once or twice? I don't know. Auburn. No, they played twice. Okay. Oh, no, have they? I think they've only played once actually. And the one time they played, Texas A&M won. But it's hard to beat a team like Auburn twice. I'm surprised they beat him once. Um, I don't know. I think it's very difficult for a team to beat Auburn two times in a row, much less just two times in general. So I'm gonna pick Auburn. I know, almost complete chalk on this side, except for like Ole Miss, but it's whatever. Oh, we need to pick this game now, though. I don't know why they're barking. It's kind of weird. Oh, okay. Anyway, have these two teams played? I feel like they have. No, they haven't. Okay. Um, I mean, this is a tough team. I don't know. Very similar statistically outside of offense. Obviously gonna have a better conference record. Um, better top 25 record. They also played five less games, so who knows what have happened in those 5 games. Uh, number one seeds are 38 and 30. I don't know. I saw some stat that like number one seeds who like lost 3 of their 4 like last game, so for the tournament didn't like never won. So I'm gonna stick with that stat that I saw, and I'm just gonna pick Michigan State. Michigan State's been playing good. outside of obviously their last game against like Wisconsin, but that's yeah. They only lost by 3 after beating them. I mean, these are just good quality wins. Outside of their one loss to Kansas, which Kansas was playing great at the start of the year. So I'm just gonna pick Michigan State. Florida, yeah, I'm not even gonna think about that one. UConn, Oklahoma. This is another one of those like 50-50 games, I think, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna pick UConn though. They just have so much experience over the past 2 years in the tournament. Now, if they didn't like repeat, then I think that I would pick Oklahoma. But yeah, coach has experience. They probably have some returning guys, so we'll take that. And like I said, I'm very high on Gonzaga. They beat Gonzaga. Uh, yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick that. Not think about it too much. Beat Marquette by 16 near the end of the year. Memphis, Colorado State. Like I said, I picked Memphis twice and Colorado State the other time, and Colorado State's actually favored in this game. That's kind of surprising. Um, that's very surprising, actually. Obviously, Colorado State hasn't played many people, and the one time they did play a top 25 game, they lost. Let's look at the quad one. Quad one. Memphis and Colorado State. 3-5, 6-1, 7-2, 5-2, 11-2, 4-2, 7-0, 11-0. What was their one top 25 win? I have no idea. Or their one top. Oh, it was the Ole Miss game. Okay. Gotcha. Is it a neutral site? Lost by 15. I don't know. But you also got to remember that they've been playing amazing towards the back half of the season. BPI rank is similar. Both are not very amazing conferences. Memphis beat UConn, beat Michigan State, lost to Auburn, beat Clemson, which is another team I'm kind of high on, beat Mississippi State, beat Ole Miss towards the end of the season, which Colorado State lost them by 15. That was at the start of the season, though. Bubble team, 10 seed, 2-1 against a 10 seed. That's a bubble team. I don't know. I'm just gonna take Memphis here. I don't want to ponder on it. I'm high on Maryland. We'll go and pick that game too. I don't think Memphis is gonna go deep. I don't think they're going deep into the tournament. I know a ton of people are also picking here. If I'm gonna pick, we'll just go and get that out of the way. There you go. Actually, you know what? I've picked every 1 seed to win except for Auburn. Let's make this an Auburn bracket. Florida, Maryland. Yes, I still think Florida wins that. Actually, hold on. I can't pick against Florida. I'm sorry. Missouri Drake. I know that like listen, Drake is such a trap. I've already said it once. I fell for it like 2 times now, I think. I'm not gonna fall for it again. Missouri is just battle tested compared to Drake. They have a bunch of D2 guys on their team. Um yeah. Obviously slow pace, very slow pace, which is not amazing for Missouri. But at the same time, I don't know. I just don't see Drake winning this game. I know a ton of people do, but I don't. Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington. Um, I've heard a lot about this team, but I don't know. Played Kansas at the start of the year, got blown out. Had they played a single quad one game outside of that Kansas game? Let's see. Quad 1, UNC, Wilmington. Um, UNC, Wilmington, Quad, oops, Quad 1. Here we go. No, they haven't even played a Quad 2 game. Give me Texas Tech. Didn't play a single Quad 2 game the entire year. Lost 3 Quad 4 games. Yeah, no, I don't see it. Literally lost to a team called Elon. What is this? This is insane. I've never heard of this team in my life. They beat Notre Dame though. So, what do I know, man? What do I know? Give me Texas Tech. This is another coin flip game for me. I could see this going either way. I think Kansas probably has the better roster, but I think Arkansas has been more tested throughout the year for obvious reasons. Well, I can't really say that though. Kansas played good competition all year. Hmm. Scoring is very similar. Let's pick Kansas. I don't think either of them beat St. John's, to be honest with you. I'll go ahead and pick St. John's here, just because. Missouri, Texas Tech. Texas Tech's top 25 record is not good. Yeah, 1-4. Missouri is 5-5. Um, I mean these Texas Tech has played half the top 25 games that Missouri has, and has almost lost as many as Missouri has. Quad 1, Missouri. I just completely missed the S button while I'm typing in Missouri, but whatever. Quad 1, Texas Tech. 10-5, 7-11. More consistent like everywhere else, though. I mean, they lost to St. Joseph's and TCU. Last time I heard about TCU was when they got blown out by Georgia in the college football championship. I'm gonna pick Missouri here. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Missouri. I think that they've played more competition and have won more often. Obviously, despite their record. Obviously, Texas Tech has won more games, but they played more quad 3 and 4 games. Yeah, I'm taking Missouri. Missouri and St. John's, though. Why did I close Missouri's thing? Missouri. St. John's. 6-4, 7-11, 11-0, 3-0, 7-6, 4-8. Lost to Georgia by 3. Where did this Georgia game go? Lost won by 13. Obviously, this was at the start of the year, and this was like halfway, but still. Um, hmm. Obviously, Missouri's been cold towards the end of the season. They played good against Mississippi State though, which is a good sign. St. John's has been playing good towards the end of the season now as well. 16-point win against Creighton. 16-point win against Marquette. Lost to Villanova though. I don't know. I honestly see Missouri winning this game. I've been high on St. John's. They don't have they don't have as many quality wins as I feel the other 2 and 1 seeds do. Even Missouri. Hey, remember I said I was high on the SEC. Florida, Missouri. These teams just played. Florida won by 14. Give me Florida. Give me Auburn. I said I would have Auburn winning this, so we'll go ahead and do that. I don't think Auburn will win, but I need to have a bracket where they win. So who cares? Duke. I'm high on SEC teams, man. I'm high on them. Obviously, Mississippi State's been battle tested, and they came out with a better record. Not conference record, obviously, but a better overall record. Am I good? Yeah, we're good. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, I'm gonna take Mississippi State here. I think Duke wins against them though. Oregon. I saw a stat the other day that was under their head coach, Oregon hasn't lost a single first round game in the tournament. And I've not watched Oregon all year, but they have some good wins. I mean, Wisconsin, they haven't been good against Michigan State. Close game is against Michigan. Beat Alabama at the start of the season. Obviously, that was the start of the season, though. Got blown out by 30 against Illinois, however. Beat Maryland. I don't know. Let's look at top 25. Liberty hasn't played a single top 25 team. Give me Oregon. I know some people are going to pick that upset, but I'm not. I'm not picking it. I know this is another spot that people are picking upsets at, but I don't see it happening. I just don't. Arizona is just too oversized when compared to Akron's team. And I mean, yeah, the Arizona's just been more tested all year. Obviously, there's going to be a better conference record, easier conference. Give me Arizona. This is another game where people are just going to pick VCU a ton, and I said 2 or so months ago, whenever I watched them beat Kansas by 34. I've been watching that game and saying hey, these guys are going to be good in March. A month later, and hey, 2 straight wins against Iowa State. Obviously lost by 20 against Houston, but Houston is an amazing team. And it was better than their 31-point loss at the start of the season, so improvement. Look here, lost to New Mexico. 1-1 against Dayton. Beat George Mason, which I've never heard of. Yeah, I know people are gonna pick this upset, but I've been high on BYU ever since that Kansas game, so I'm gonna pick BYU. Wisconsin, like I said, I'm high on BYU. I'm taking BYU in that game. BYU played more top 25 teams. Still 500 on those games. Better conference record. And similarly hard conferences, I would say. Similar points per game and opponents' points per game. Good wins at the end of the season. Obviously, both teams lost at the end of the season as well, or at the end of their season. So I don't know. I think BYU wins that personally. This is another 50 here. We'll go and pick Alabama there. This is another 50-50 for me. Obviously, I'm high on SEC, but at the same time, I feel like St. Mary's is going to win this year. But they haven't played top 25. St. Mary's is favored. Wins over Utah State. 1-1 against Utah State. 2-1 against Gonzaga. Lost to Boise. Blew out USC. Holy. Let's look at quad one. I'm curious. St. Mary's. And what was the other team? Vandy? Vanderbilt. I didn't even kind of go back. Perfect. 4-3, 5-9. Where are they at? They're 21st, 48th. Lost to Utah State. Beat Akron pretty handily. 7-0, 10-0, 6-2, 4-3. Lost to Drake. I don't know. This is one of those games that's just 50-50. I'm gonna pick Vandy. I don't think either of these teams are gonna beat Alabama. I'm just gonna pick Vandy here. I think that they played more teams over the course of the season, and I think that Texas game left them with a bad taste in their mouth. They're gonna want to win at least one. So give me Vanderbilt. I don't think either of these teams are gonna beat Alabama either anyway. To be completely honest with you. Oregon, Arizona. This is a tough one. I think most of the time I picked Arizona. Or sorry, I think most of the time I picked Oregon. I think this time I'm going to pick Arizona, though. Just to be different. Duke, Arizona. I think Arizona. Oh, never mind. They don't have a better top 25 record. I mean, they have more top 25 wins, but obviously played 6 more top 25 games than Duke has. We'll look at quad one for both teams real quick. Quad one. Oops. Duke. Quad one. Arizona. I don't know. Caleb Williams is just, or not Caleb Williams. What's the guy's name? I can't remember. Goodness, Caleb Love. Embarrassing. Caleb Love is just really, really inconsistent. I don't know. And I've watched their games. I feel like most of their offense goes through Caleb Love. Oh shoot! I didn't know James was in here. BYU is underrated. I know, dude. I've been saying this for like a month now. BYU is gonna make a run. Trust. Uh, 9-3. I might take Arizona here. I usually take Duke, but I mean, honestly, let's pick Arizona. Let's change it up a little bit. Give me Arizona. Duke's a young team anyway. I don't think they're gonna win this year. I know a good amount of people do, but I don't think they will. BYU, BYU. mean, they lost to Providence by 19 points for crying out loud. That was at the start of the season, though. Obviously, they've been playing much better. Am I about to pick BYU over Alabama? There's no way. I can't. I can't pick BYU over Alabama. I'm sorry. Give me Alabama over Arizona. I think Arizona can beat Duke, but I don't think they beat Alabama. Alabama's just too good of an offensive team. Yeah. All right. We almost have our final four. We have 2 1s over here. This is where all of my upsets are in most of my brackets. I'm very high in Gonzaga. I'm not going to look at this. I think Georgia could win, but this is another tough one for me to pick. I know a ton of people are picking McNeese. This is similar to Drake for me in the way that I feel like this is a trap. I'm picking Clemson. I picked Clemson in most of my bracket. I picked them once just because, like, why not? But I mean, obviously Clemson hasn't beaten Louisville, but they've been close games most of the time. Win over Duke, obviously. Win over Kentucky. Win over North Carolina. I mean, they don't have bad wins. I'm gonna pick Clemson. You think High Point is beating Purdue? I know they have a good offense that's like mostly 2 points, but at the same time, man, like Purdue's not a bad team. Let me look at quad one. Quad one. Purdue. There goes my phone. Quad one. High Point. That's not a good sign. I hate to say it. That's not a good sign. They haven't played a single quad one game all year, and those are like your tournament teams. They've played North Texas once, which is like a very defensive team, and they won by 5. Barely beat UAB, which didn't even make the tournament. Lost to UNC Greensboro. I mean, of course your offense is going to be good if like you're playing 20 quad 4 game like 20 quad 4 games. Like of course your offense is going to be good. I would expect a team that makes the tournament to beat a team called Coppin State by 40. I At the same time though, like they're losing to Missouri State by 10. They're losing to Norfolk, which actually Norfolk made the tournament. Yeah, Norfolk made the tournament. They're a 16 seed. I Listen, I know Purdue has been like that team that's been inconsistent, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Give me Purdue. I don't see a 4-13 like upset happening this year. I think all the 3 seeds are like far and away better than the 13 or the 14s, sorry. I think if it is gonna happen, it would probably be here, but I don't see it happening. If it didn't happen here, then it might happen here, but I don't see a 14 seed upsetting a 3 this year. Let's see. Illinois, Texas. I think Texas beats Xavier. Um, I don't have to inform you that I'm live. What? I think Texas beats Xavier, but I don't think Texas is going to beat Illinois. I'm glad they made the tournament, but I don't see them going far. I do not see them going far. I'm a UK fan. I have to pick Kentucky. If they lose to if they get first rounded for the third year in a row when they're like a 3 or 2 seed, I'm gonna lose my mind. First it was St. Peter's, then it was Oakland. I don't want to be talking about Troy in a couple days. Okay, I'm gonna pick Kentucky, and I'm not gonna look back. They're gonna lose to Illinois. Just by the way, UCLA, Utah State. Utah State is a bunch of like random wins. Um, Lost to Wisconsin, lost to Purdue, lost to Illinois. Illinois was only about like a 5 point margin now. Beat Michigan State, got blown out by Michigan. Beat Gonzaga, who I'm high on. Beat Arizona, lost to North Carolina by 2, which is not a good loss. Let me look at Quad 1. Quad 1, UCLA. Quad 1, Utah State. 2 and 4. Give me UCLA. Played 6 games, won 2 of them. Played 17 games, won 9 of them. 5-1, 8-3 against Quad 2. Did lose a Quad 3 game, but I don't know. They've won the more important games, and I think there was like a story that I think I saw about them like not playing great because of how much travel they have to do. Which I mean, it makes sense. They're in California. I don't know. Well, they should have had enough time to rest. I'm gonna pick UCLA. I don't see them beating Tennessee here, to be honest with you. Whatever team comes out of there. This is my Cinderella pick right here. I did this in one other of my brackets. I think Gonzaga's beating. I think Gonzaga can go on a run. Beat Baylor by 40, almost 40. Almost beat Indiana by 20, which was a bubble team. Lost to Kentucky in an overtime, like 1 point game. I know this doesn't look good. I know it doesn't. But they're just coming off of a conference tournament win. Their offense is good, and their defense is good enough to where I think that they could beat Houston. Similar top 25 record. Their BPI is very high to be an 8 seed. Let's look at Quad 1. Gonzaga. And Houston. Wow, that's not good. That is not good. We might not be picking Gonzaga. Santa Clara, San Francisco. I mean, these are just not like good Quad 1 games, though, I feel like. And most of these wins are like at away and neutral sites. What are Houston's losses to? Neutral, neutral. This was home to Texas Tech. Lost a Quad 2 game. And Gonzaga lost 3 of them. I don't know. I've said that I'm high on Gonzaga. I've already picked this. I've already picked Gonzaga going to the Final Four once. I don't need to do it again. We'll pick Houston. I think Clemson is very underrated. I think Clemson is going to be whatever team comes out of this matchup. They went to the Elite Eight last year. I think I could definitely see it. As a Kentucky fan, this hurts me. But with our injuries and everything else, I don't see us getting further than the Elite Eight this year. Like, if we win this game, we then have to beat Tennessee for what, a third time? I don't think that's happening. And even if we do that, we have to beat a team that I don't think we can win against, or a team that we've lost to already. And also I haven't picked Illinois that much, so we're gonna pick Illinois. And then I think Tennessee wins that game, and then Houston Clemson. Houston Clemson. Yeah, obviously Clemson has been in a much easier conference than Houston. Beat Penn State, beat Kentucky, lost to Memphis by 5, beat Pittsburgh, beat Duke, beat North Carolina. Has Houston played Duke? No, they played Auburn. Duke beat Auburn. Houston lost to Auburn. I don't know why they're only showing the win against Texas Tech. They lost to Texas Tech too. No one's home. Why are they barking? No one's here. I don't know why they do that. Isn't someone on Houston injured going into the tournament or something? Hold on. Houston injury report. No, not the Rockets. You're kidding me. It's giving me every Houston team except for the college basketball one. Asking Crider, Roberts, Walker, McFarland. I don't know. I'm gonna pick Houston personally. And then Houston, Tennessee is another tough game. Lost to Auburn by 5. Lost by 2. Won by 5. I might take Tennessee, honestly. Give me Tennessee. Give me Tennessee. Alabama, Tennessee. Oh my God. Why is it an all SEC Final Four? I just saw that. Oh. Hey, I, I said I was high on SEC, didn't I? All right. It's too late to change it now. What happened the last time these two teams played? Lost to Tennessee. Holy. I mean, Tennessee played much better against Florida than Alabama did in their last head-to-head. Tennessee won. I'm gonna take Tennessee for a Auburn Tennessee championship game. What does Auburn's last couple games look like? Like 70-ish, 65. Last time they played, that's like 130. It'll probably be around there again. I'll make it a little higher. Actually, let's make it 129. I think I think it'll be a low scoring game if these two teams make it. All right, that's the bracket. That is the bracket. I like it. I like what we have here. There's our Auburn bracket. The stupid Final Four, man. Okay, let me change the name. Had to make an Auburn bracket. What should the name be? Auburn gets past first round. Auburn actually wins. No, that's way too long. Auburn wins first round. There we go. I feel good about this bracket. Outside of the final four that I have, I think that could be a little ridiculous, but we'll see. Okay, groups. God Lord, the names are insane. Goodness. Hey, I feel good about my brackets though. I feel great about them. Another entry that should put it in, right? Yeah, good. Made 4 brackets, one for each 1 seed, and then I think I'm gonna make one more bracket. Not now, because that took a while. I'll probably make one more bracket where St. John's wins or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I wanted to hop on here and do. One of my friends wanted me to make a bracket on stream, so here we are. Thanks for watching live if you did. Thanks for watching after if I got a perfect bracket. We might have. Who knows? Probably didn't, but.